In the heart of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, a woman of extraordinary ambition was born, destined to shape the Roman Empire. Julia Agrippina, known to history as Agrippina the Younger, entered the world on November 6, 15 AD. She was a direct descendant of the revered Emperor Augustus, a lineage that afforded her immense privilege and perilous proximity to power. Her father was the celebrated General Germanicus, a hero beloved by the Roman legions and the public alike. Her mother, Agrippina the Elder, was a woman of formidable will, known for her unwavering devotion to her husband and children. From her earliest days, Agrippina was immersed in the complex and often deadly politics of the imperial court. At the tender age of 13, a strategic marriage was arranged for her, a common fate for women of her station. She was wed to Gnaeus Domitius, a Ahenobarbus, a man from a distinguished consular family, but known for his questionable character. This union was not one of love, but a calculated political move to secure alliances within the Roman elite. The political landscape shifted dramatically when her brother, Gaius, infamously known as Caligula, ascended to the imperial throne. Initially, Agrippina and her sisters were showered with unprecedented honors by their brother, the new emperor. In this same year of upheaval and opportunity, Agrippina gave birth to her only son, Lucius Domitius Aenobarbus. The boy who would one day be called Nero was born under what some considered an ominous sign. His father reportedly remarked that nothing produced by him and Agrippina could be anything but a disaster for the public good. Agrippina's favor in Caligula's court, however, proved to be fleeting and treacherous. She was accused of being involved in a plot to overthrow the emperor, a charge that carried a deadly sentence. To save her life, she was stripped of her wealth and forced into exile on the desolate Pontian Islands. Her young son, Nero, was sent to be raised by his less than wealthy aunt, Domitia Lepida. Life in exile was harsh, a stark contrast to the opulence of the imperial court she had known. Agrippina's fortunes were destined to change once more with another violent turn of the imperial wheel. In the power vacuum that followed, her uncle, Claudius, was unexpectedly declared the new emperor. One of Claudius's first acts was to recall his niece, Agrippina, from her miserable exile. Returning to Rome, Agrippina was a changed woman, more cunning, more patient, and more determined than ever. She focused on rebuilding her influence and securing a future for her beloved son. Her husband, Domitius, had died while she was in exile, leaving her a widow with considerable freedom to maneuver. She entertained a second marriage to the wealthy Crispus Passienus, but this too was short-lived. Rumors swirled that she had poisoned Crispus to inherit his vast fortune, though no proof was ever found. With her wealth restored and her political acumen sharpened, Agrippina set her sights on the ultimate prize. The position of empress, wife of the ruling Claudius, became her singular obsession. There was one significant obstacle. Roman law forbade a man from marrying his niece. Through careful persuasion and political manipulation, Agrippina convinced key allies to have the law changed. In 49 AD, the Senate dutifully legalized the union, and Agrippina married her uncle, Emperor Claudius Pernin. She had now reached the pinnacle of power, becoming the most influential woman in the Roman Empire. As empress, she was not content to remain a mere consort. She actively participated in governing. Her face began to appear on coinage alongside the emperor's, a symbol of her shared authority. But her primary goal remained the advancement of her son, Nero. She skillfully persuaded the aging Claudius to formally adopt Nero, making him a legal heir. This act placed Nero in direct competition with Claudius's own biological son, Britannicus. Agrippina systematically removed anyone from the court who supported Britannicus's claim to the throne. She secured Nero's future further by arranging his marriage to Claudius's daughter, Octavia. With Nero's position as heir apparent solidified, Claudius was now more of an obstacle than an asset. In October of 54 AD, after a banquet, Emperor Claudius suddenly fell ill and died. Ancient historians, like Tacitus, strongly suggest that Agrippina was the architect of his death. She had allegedly poisoned a dish of his favorite mushrooms, a perfect and untraceable crime. Before the news of Claudius's death was made public, Agrippina ensured the loyalty of the Praetorian Guard. With the military secured, the 16-year-old Nero was presented to the soldiers and proclaimed emperor. Agrippina's ultimate ambition was realized. Her son was the master of the Roman world. During the early years of Nero's reign, Agrippina acted as the true power behind the throne. She managed state affairs, met with ambassadors, and effectively ruled the empire. Her dominance was absolute, but it was a dominance that a growing Nero began to resent. Nero's influential advisors, the philosopher Seneca and the Praetorian prefect Burrus, encouraged him to assert his independence. The first major rift occurred over Nero's affair with a former slave girl, Claudia Acte. Agrippina, with her rigid sense of class and propriety, was outraged by the relationship. In her anger, she made a fatal mistake. She threatened to support Britannicus as the rightful emperor. Nero, paranoid and ruthless, responded by having his stepbrother Britannicus poisoned at a dinner party. Agrippina could only watch in horror, realizing she had lost control over her monstrous creation. From that moment, her influence rapidly declined as Nero systematically stripped her of her honors and guards. The situation worsened with the arrival of Poppaea Sabina, a beautiful and ambitious noblewoman. Poppaea wanted to marry Nero, but knew this was impossible as long as his mother was alive. She constantly taunted Nero, calling him a child who was still afraid of his mother. Driven by paranoia and Poppaea's incitement, Nero made a chilling decision. Agrippina had to die. His first attempt was an elaborate and supposedly accident-proof plan. He commissioned a special collapsible boat, designed to fall apart at sea and drown his mother. He invited her to a festival at Baiae, feigning reconciliation and affection. After a pleasant dinner, Agrippina departed on the specially designed vessel under a starry sky. Out on the water, the mechanism was triggered, and the lead-weighted canopy collapsed. However, the plot was foiled by a sturdy couch, which protected Agrippina from being crushed. While her attendants screamed for help, pretending to be Agrippina, and was clubbed to death, the real Agrippina quietly slipped into the water. Strong swimmer, she managed to stay afloat until she was picked up by a passing fishing boat. She knew instantly that she had survived a murder attempt orchestrated by her own son. She sent a messenger to Nero, calmly informing him that she had survived a terrible accident. Nero, panicking at the failure of his plot, knew he had to act quickly and decisively. He accused her of sending an assassin to kill him and declared her an enemy of the state. He dispatched a group of assassins, led by the naval captain Anicetus, to finish the job. They surrounded her villa by the sea, trapping her inside. When the assassins burst into her bedroom, Agrippina faced them with astonishing courage. Believing they had come to kill her, she pointed to her abdomen. She famously cried out, "Strike the womb that bore a monster." They cut her down with their swords, ending the life of the most powerful woman in Rome. Nero was reportedly haunted by his mother's ghost for the rest of his days. Astrologers had once told Agrippina that her son would become emperor, but that he would also kill her. Her legendary response was, "Let him kill me, so long as he reigns." In the end, her all-consuming ambition for her son was the instrument of her own destruction.